Hey there, flippers, and welcome back to Second Life Treasures. So on today's video, we are going to be doing our weekly update video, as well as, on today's video, I'm actually only going to be focusing on one question. And that was a question that I was asked as I was going around the boot fair by someone that watches the channel. But yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. First, let's have a quick look at how we done last week. So in total, we had 29 sales for last week, with a total revenue of £656.36, which netted us a total profit of £397.16, and that gave us an ROI of 332%, which was okay. But yeah, we can definitely do a bit better. So diving in, our first sale, and let me just switch the screen over. That would help, wouldn't it? So our first sale last week was the Toshiba Blu-ray player with remote. This one, I want to say I picked this up last week from the charity shop. So I put out a short last week showing some absolutely brilliant pickups that I made from my local charity shop. It was the first time I'd been back in there in absolutely ages. And yeah, put this up, and I think it sold within about 48 hours, which was really good. So we paid £4 for this. As you see there, it sold for £34.99. And netted us a total profit of £19.39, with an ROI of 485%, which was absolutely brilliant. And then moving on to our number 9 pick. Now this was one, I don't think I ever featured this on the channel. So this was actually a free Facebook pickup that I'd done. I want to say back in 2022, so about 2 years ago, I'd done this pickup, and it has literally sat underneath the side table downstairs in the hallway since I picked it up. I've never gone through it. And then last week I was digging through to pull something out that had actually sold, that I'll show you later on actually, because it is in the top 10. And yeah, I saw a bag of Super 8 film reels, looked through them. I think there was about 7 in total, 4 of them being this Beatrix Potter set. So it's volumes 1 to 4 of the Royal Ballet Super 8 film reels. Put it up for £25 plus shipping, and yeah, it sold. I think I got an offer through. That was it. I put it up for £30, then got an offer through of £25 within a couple of hours. So I just accepted it. So netted us a total sale of £29.99. As I say, this was a free Facebook Marketplace pickup. So we didn't have any money laid into it. And that netted us a total profit of £20.34, with, I believe it's an ROI of 100%. Because obviously there was no initial outlay for it. That's the way I'm interpreting it. So yeah, absolutely over the moon with that one. That was a really good pickup, and yeah, one that had literally been sat for absolutely ages. So as I say, today we are going to be answering sort of one question that I've had. And that question is how do I stay motivated, especially now I've gone full time? Well, I will say it has been quite a shocking change for me, sort of going full time. So normally I'd be a struggle to get up in the morning, struggle to get started and everything like that. But since I've gone full time, I'm literally up like a jackrabbit at 7 o'clock. I've got then 2 hours before I hit my daily schedule and everything. But yeah, to break down this question, I've got a couple of tips that I'm going to be passing on. So the first one is to basically set yourself goals. Obviously, now I'm full time. I have had to set myself goals, and I'm making sure that I basically achieve them every day. Now that I'm full-time, I've got no excuse not to achieve them. Now, while financial goals are great, I will say, don't base everything on them. That's one thing that's taken me quite a long time to learn. Obviously, especially now I'm full-time, I have got financial targets that I've got to try and hit, but I think there are other ways to hit those targets. First off, and I think the most important, is going to be your listing targets. Make sure that you're setting yourself reasonable and achievable listing targets for like per day. So when I first started, I had a listing goal of 5 listings a day. Over the last sort of 3-4 years, however long we've been doing it now, 3 years is it? I've sort of tried and fluctuated with my targets or with my listing goals. But now I have, so since going full time, I've switched up to doing 30 listings a day. That isn't 30 new listings a day. I've broke that down into 10 new listings and 20 end and sell similar listings. And that seems to be working for me. I will keep tweaking it. If I'm not seeing the results that I want, then I'll start upping my listings as well. But I'm seeing a steady flow of sales at the moment. Obviously, I only started doing the 10 listings last week, so I think it's going to take a couple of weeks for that to kick in. And then I'm also going to look to sort of tweak things like my promotions as well. But also, with regards to listings, while you want to be sourcing enough listings to be meeting your listings goal, you also need to make sure that you're buying the stuff that's of the right sort of quality. One of the other goals that I have started working to, and I know I said at the beginning not to set yourself financial goals, but one of the goals I set is a per item profit. So that's basically a minimum profit margin that I look to get on each item that I sell. I have got stuff in my store that is below that, but what I'm doing now is anything new that I buy, I look to get between £10 and £12 profit per item, and that's basically how I'm approaching it at the moment. And yeah, that is going to be my sort of number one tip, is set yourself goals. Also, don't be disheartened if you're not necessarily hitting your goals. Maybe that you just need to tweak your goal, make some changes, but as well, life does get in the way. There's been plenty of times, and even over the last week, where I've not done exactly what I wanted. Like, for example, Sunday, for example, I got home from the boot fair. I was absolutely dead on my feet, and I ended up just doing 30 relistings or 30 end and sell similar. I didn't put any new items on, but that is how I'm also tweaking what I'm doing during the week. I'll get into that in a bit more in a bit. But yeah, it's all about just finding the balance and sort of setting yourself some achievable goals. That's probably the most important part, is that word achievable. So next up, we've got our number 8 sale for the week. And this is one of my staples. This is an Amazon Kindle Fire 7. This is the 9th generation, and this is a 32 gig. This one, I will say, is in an up-and-coming video. So this was actually from a boot fair that I went to, not this weekend, just gone, the weekend before. And yeah, that video will be out in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, I got a bundle of these. And yeah, this was one of the ones in there, listed it, and I think it sold within a couple of days. So yeah, really chuffed with that. Sold for full price, wasn't on offer. So paid £5 for it. It sold for $34.99. Landed us a total profit of £20.82p for a total ROI of 416%. And then our number 7 best sale of the week is the Autel AutoLink ODB2 scanner. So this was one that we got from the Sunday boot fair. I think this might have been last week's boot, or last Saturday just gone's boot fair video, I think. But yeah, so paid up a bit for this, paid £15 for it. But managed to sell it for $49.99. which landed us a total profit of £25.41. For a total ROI of £169. Sorry, 169%, shall we say. Then moving on to tip number 2. And this is one of the things actually that I've made quite a big effort to get working for me. And this is, if you struggle with time management, try creating yourself a schedule. So what I did was, as soon as I started full-time, I actually sat down and planned out a weekly schedule. And this was everything from sort of wake up to go to bed. It shows when I've got free time and then what I've got to do at various times of the day. Tell you what we'll do, actually. Let me just pull it up and then I can show you sort of what my schedule is. As I say, it is still in the early stages. I'm still sort of working through it and making sure that it's actually something that's going to work for me. And here we go. Right, 2 seconds. Right, so let me just switch back over to the PC screen. So you'll see here, I've got it going right away from sort of 3:30 in the morning, just purely because, obviously, on a Sunday, that is when I'm out of the boot fairs. So normally, I'm waking up between I'm setting my wake up between 7 and 7:30, but recently I've been waking up at 7 quite religiously. And then on a Monday, for example, so today's the day that I'm filming this, from 8:30 till 9, I'm basically going through any offers that I've received overnight and doing any discounts that I need to do. 9 till 10 is listing. 10 till 12 is picking and packing. 12 till 1 is basically item testing and cleaning, so getting stuff ready to list. I've then given myself an hour for lunch. 2 till 4 is filming this video, and then 4 till 5 is doing stock photography. And then I want to try and get to the point where sort of 5 till 5:30, I'm doing comments. And then in the evening, I'm going to be doing my stock management system. And then, yeah, what I'm doing is over the course of the week, I am doing filming for both the channels. Normally, I'm doing that in the afternoons. And in the mornings is purely focused on doing sort of anything to do with eBay, sort of listing, packing, and also doing stock photography as well. What I have found, and I don't know whether this is true or not, or if it's just something that I'm picking up and it's got no bearing at all. But I tend to find if I do my listing and my shipping early in the day, it tends to have an effect by the sort of the afternoon, sort of late afternoon. I'll then start seeing sales come through. As I say, don't know whether that's true or not. It's just a feeling that I get. Yeah, more often than not, if I don't do my listings until like late afternoon, early evening, I tend to find I then end up with a 0 sale day. But if I do them earlier, I do tend to sort of start getting sales through sort of early evenings. So yeah, that's why I've got my listing and packing all done sort of in the morning. And yeah, I aim to sort of get that done and out the door as quickly as possible. So yeah, that is sort of the schedule that I'm working to at the moment. I have, as I say, it is still work in progress. I will say up until this point, I have not managed to sort of stick to any of these times yet. I've only been working the schedules for the last week. So I'm hoping that by the end of this week, I could be sort of more in line with where I need to be. But yes, as I say, one of the big things is to sort of make sure if you struggle with time management and things like that, create a schedule, create a to-do list. I know quite a few of the other reselling YouTubers, they actually in the morning, like if they're full-time, they'll get up, they'll put a to-do list together, and then they'll work through that to-do list throughout the day. Personally, I find that it works better for me to actually have sort of set times to do everything. But yeah, each to their own. So with that, let's move on to the next sale for the week. And let me switch back over to the PC. So our next sale is the Sony SE720 VHS cassette. This one is one that I think as well, this was in last week's or last Saturday's video. And yeah, I want to say this was in last Saturday's video because this was something that we picked up from Lazy Bones. And I only managed to get 2 things from Lazy Bones this time, so I'm pretty sure that this has already gone out. So as you see there, we got a total sale price of £48.50. We paid we didn't. We paid £4 for this. For a total profit of £27.87, netting us an ROI of 697%, which was really good. Then another sale that we got from last week's charity shop run was the set of Sony wireless stereo headphones. We actually had 2 of these, and they both sold to the same person in the same sale. So yeah, really happy with that. So we paid worked out £4 per headset, so £8 in total for these 2. £49.98 was the total sale price for a profit of £31.67. Netting us an ROI of 396%. So tip number 3 is going to be, if you are struggling, talk to people. Now, I consider myself to be really lucky. I've got some amazing people around me that just all they're doing is pushing me to succeed. Some are resellers, some are sort of just friends that have got nothing to do with reselling. For example, I spoke to one of my friends this afternoon. He gave me a call on his way home from work. And yeah, he was asking me how things were going, sort of what I was doing. And he was like, just stay positive, keep going. You're going to smash this. You're going to do it. And yeah, it's having people like that around you sort of really helps G you up. And yeah, I will say I'm really lucky in that respect. And I'll be honest as well, even down to sort of like the YouTube channel. I think I said this on last week's video. I have been absolutely amazed by the response that I've had to the video. I've had so many people coming up to me while I'm out at the boot fairs, sort of, can't believe you've gone full time, good luck, hope you smash it. And everyone has just been so positive. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for all the support you've given me, sort of whether it's in the comments or it's when you're seeing me out at the boot fairs. It is the appreciation for me is just unbelievable. It is, yeah, I'm just taken aback by it. I really am. But moving on to my next part of the tip, the other area that you can use if you're struggling and you need someone to talk to is to join one of the communities online. There are communities on sort of Facebook, Discord, and a whole load of different places. And yeah, I've seen people and spoke to people that have been members of these sort of forums, and they've got so much out of it because yeah, people talk, people exchange strategies as well on there. Those communities are really good. They're always pushing each other, always swapping tips, tricks, everything like that. So yeah, if you're struggling, definitely sort of join one of those online communities. And if you are heading out to the boot fairs to source, interact with some of the resellers that are there. So over the sort of the years that I've been going to the various boot fairs, there are a sort of group of as a group of us resellers. We all interact, we all talk, we joke, we banter, we swap tips and everything like that. And yeah, it's a real little community. at the boot fairs at the moment. It's really, really good. So yeah, speak to some of the other resellers, sort of get involved with some of the regulars that are going there. Most resellers are very, very approachable, and they're always happy to swap tips. So they will get tips from you, you'll get tips from them, and yeah, that is another way that you learn, you grow, and you can also sort of build yourself as a reseller. Another area of that as well is us resellers. We're a very fickle bunch. We love to show off our pickups, and yeah, all I would say is use that. So if you've got other resellers that are, if you're sort of talking with other resellers at the boot fair, for example, or you've got other resellers that you talk to just in general, see what they're picking up. Look at what items they're picking up. Find out what items are selling for them, and then use that for yourself. We all, at the boot fairs, we all swap and change. So, like, I will be showing other people what I've picked up. They'll be showing me what they've picked up. Sometimes it's to gloat. Sometimes it's to, oh, what have you got? And that is the other thing as well. There'll be quite a few of the resellers. I go, oh, so how you got on today? What you got? And then we all open our bags. We show each other what we've got, tell what we paid, and everything like that. And it's you will constantly keep, if you're interacting with the community, whether it's in real life, online, you will always, there'll always be people there that will help push you forward. And that is probably the biggest bit of advice that I can give you, especially if you're struggling. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Once again, I've said on sort of multiple videos now, if you've got a question, ask me in the comments. I am more than happy to answer it on a video like this. As I say, today's video is based on a question that I got asked at the boot fair. So yeah, this is a big thing about how I sort of G myself up, and keep myself motivated. It is interacting with people. And yeah, it is a really important thing. Don't ever try and do this on your own, because it will become stifling, because there'll be no way for you to vent. And if you're struggling, you won't know why you're struggling and everything like that. Where, as I say, sort of take Nicky for example. He's a fellow reseller, and we will constantly, while we're out of the boot fairs, while we're traveling sort of to different sourcing places, everything like that, we're always talking. We're always, yeah, I picked this up the other day. I will get multiple text messages a week from Nicky showing me bits that he's picked up from his local charity shop, showing me things that have sold for him. I do the same as well. If I get a good pickup or a good sale, I'll ping him over a message, sort of, oh, look, mate, got this today, paid £2, it's going to sell for, or going to be able to list it for £100, things like that. And yeah, it's all just about sort of talking to people and sort of keeping it as a sort of a two-way thing. Don't be one of these people that is going there trying to get all the information out of everyone else, not sharing everything yourself. It's all in order to build that rapport with people at the boot fair. It's got to be a two-way thing. They're sharing with you, you share with them. Otherwise, people will just be like, no, he's only in for it for himself, and then they'll start sort of distancing themselves. I've seen quite a few resellers that's happened to, and yeah, it is what it is. So let's move on to our number 4 sale for the month, for the week even. I'm not at the month yet. So our 4th best sale of the month was actually a bit of a tweak on this, because this was a dual item sale. So I actually sold 2 of these to the same person. Just the way it worked out, he sent over an offer for these, but accidentally sent over an offer for 1 instead of the 2 that I had. So yeah, he did end up buying the second one as well. So in total, he spent £44.99 on 2 Canon ink cartridges, or toner cartridges, sorry. And these have got a really interesting story, because these are something that I didn't actually source. I don't know whether I've ever mentioned it on the channel, but going back, I want to say it's probably about 8 years ago now, I decided to start a IT recycling company. So basically, I would go out to companies, pick up their old IT equipment, and basically bring it back, either refurbish it and sell it on, or basically recycle it for the components. And yeah, during that time, I picked up various things, including quite often brand new ink cartridges. And I had kept probably about 10 or 15 of these cartridges back for absolutely ages. And once I started doing the resale, I then got them listed. I had a load of HP ones. They sold fairly quickly. These Canon ones, they have been listed for, I want to say about 3 years now. They were something that we listed. Yeah, it probably is about 3 years, because I think I listed them just after we moved into this house. So yeah, probably about 3 years they've been listed. And yeah, these were the items. These were what sold. They were sort of sat under the side table in the hallway downstairs. And it was when I was sort of pulling everything out to get these out that I actually found those Super 8 film reels from earlier on. So yeah, these cartridges have actually done me a double sale, because they actually sold. We got a £30 sale from the film reels as well as these. So yeah, really happy with that. So as I say, they both so I had a zero cost on these. They both sold for $44.99, and what I've done was I've done combined shipping on this. Total profit was £33.71 for a ROI of, once again, I'm putting down 100% because there was no initial outlay. And then the number 3 sale for the week was actually a recent boot fair pickup, and this was the Casio PT50 keyboard and ROM pack. So we picked this up from the Sunday boot fair, paid £5 for it, sold it for, it actually sold on offer. I think I had it originally up for £65 plus shipping. I got an offer for £50, and I was like, do you know what? I'm more than happy to accept that. That's 10 times what I paid. So more than happy with that. So yeah, it sold for £56.50, making us a total profit of £34.96 for a ROI of 699%. So yeah, really happy with that one. So tip number 4 is going to be probably one of the best bits of advice that I've had, and actually it's a recent bit of advice, and that is don't lose the fun of reselling. So this weekend, just gone, I was out at the boot fair, and I was talking with one of the resellers that I get on really well with him, and I actually buy video games off him as well whenever he gets good ones, which is actually quite often, I will admit. And yeah, we were talking, and he was asking me sort of how things were going since I'd gone full time. And then sort of during the car, I was sort of telling him sort of what I was doing, the fact that it was, at the moment, it's very sort of hard graft. It's just sort of constant. It just feels like it's non-stop at the moment. And one of the things he said to me, and it has really sort of rung true to me, was just remember, don't lose the fun. And I have to say that out of every bit of advice that I've ever had as a reseller, that has to be probably one of the best bits of advice that I've ever had. Because yes, it can feel like it's just, you're constantly battling, and it just feels like an uphill struggle. And that's why I sort of used the thumbnail that I did, was that a lot of the time it does feel like an uphill struggle, but the most important thing is just don't lose the fun of it. And don't get me wrong, I look forward to hearing that ka-ching sound from my phone. I've even got to the point now where the wife looks forward to it. But for me, it's, I enjoy the, I'm trying to think of the right word to use here, because adventure of it isn't the right word. And I don't think mystery is the right word of it. But going out to the boot fairs are probably the most fun. Obviously, all resellers will say sourcing is the best part of it. And yeah, I will agree with that. But from my perspective, it's going out and you leave the house that morning. You don't know what you're going to pick up. You could literally, I had, what was it? Not this weekend, just gone, the weekend before. I went out to the Sunday boot fair and I went out to Lazy Bones. The normal Sunday boot fair was the first time ever that I'd actually had a bust. I didn't pick up a single thing for resale. I don't think I even picked up any gaming stuff while I was there. It was literally dead as a doornail. But then I went on to Lazy Bones and filled about 2 bags filled with different shoes, different pieces, and had a really, really good trip to Lazy Bones. So yeah, it's that sense of mystery, sense of adventure. You never know what you're going to find when you go out, and equally, you never know what you're going to learn. But yeah, for me, that is, as I say, I just think that is just a remarkable bit of advice. And I know that reseller does watch the channel, so hopefully he'll know who he is when he sees the video. So yeah, a massive thank you for that bit of advice. It is, yeah, it is definitely something that I am sort of making sure that I'm doing. And I will admit, even though at the moment, where I'm sort of really trying to sort of build things so that I can become a permanent full-time reseller, even though I'm working probably more than I did when I was actually doing a 9 till 5 in addition to this, I am actually enjoying what I'm doing. Yeah, there's times where I'm like, no, I'm running behind. I need to sort of pull my finger out and get various bits done. But I am actually enjoying it. I am finding it fun. And I actually can't explain it. I really can't. As I say, there was a couple of days last week where I was a bit despondent because I mean, I'd got to like the weekend and I'd literally been working flat out all week, working till sort of 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I got to the weekend and I'm like, I don't feel like I've achieved anything. The sales weren't much different from the week before. And yeah, I actually, to be quite honest, I needed that. It needed that comment at the boot fair on Sunday to really sort of tick me out of it, so to speak. So yeah, that is probably going to be that's going to be the last tip for today, and that is going to be don't lose the fun. And yeah, absolutely brilliant bit of advice. So to wrap up, what we'll do is we will switch back and we will have a look at the top 2 sales for today. For the week. So our number 2 sale was the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite. And this was another one of the Kindles that I picked up in that bundle from the boot fair that you'll see in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, this sold for full price, £45. And I believe actually this sold within about an hour. It sold really, really quickly. So yeah, sold for a total price of $49.99. I think we paid £5 for it. So that landed us a total profit of £36.61 for a ROI of 732%. And then the number 1 pickup for today is going to be the Polar FT40 watch and heart rate monitor. So this was one that we picked up. This, I'm 99% sure, was in Saturday's boot fair video. We paid £3 for this. I think originally the seller was asking for £5. I offered 3, they accepted. And when I first picked it up, I thought it was just a watch. It was only once I got home that I realised that it actually had the heart rate monitor that basically straps across your chest. And when I looked them up, they were selling for about £35 to £40 each for the watch and the strap. So what I've done was I chucked it up for £65. And then, yeah, I think this sold within a couple of days. So, yeah, really, really good on that. Total sale price was £69.99 for a total profit of £49.30 and an ROI of 1,643%. So, yeah, really, really chuffed with that. And as I say, just a monumental week, and really, really chuffed with how it's turned out. And yeah, so that is going to wrap up today's video. But before you head off, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when I upload new videos. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.